basically everything the entire route, we're under sidewalks.
Mayor, we're rolling.
Okay, thank you. Okay, again, I want to apologize for, my recent knee surgery ended up with staph infection, and I had to have emergency surgery, and I'm considered homebound, at least through next week. So anyway, I'll get this started. I'm gonna call to order the, City of Watseka regular city council meeting of Tuesday, January 28th of 2025 at 6:30 p.m. Please call the roll.
Delar,
Here.
Mensch,
Here.
Cahill, Rolfs,
Here.
Anderson,
Here.
Miller, Marcier,
Here.
Faragher,
Here.
7 present.
Okay. From here, we need a pledge of allegiance. Everybody stand, please.
Except you.
I
pledge allegiance
Standing,
to the
I pledge
flag
allegiance
of the United
to the flag
States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We all said it.
on my feet. I'm just trying to turn people off. So.
Yeah, we all said it. Just maybe not at the same time. We all said
Okay,
it.
fourth, we need a motion to approve the city council regular meeting minutes of December 17th, 2024, Tuesday, January 7th of 2025, and Tuesday, January 14th of 2025. We need a motion and a second to approve.
So
those
moved.
minutes.
Second.
Roll call when you're ready.
Cahill, Faragher,
Aye.
Delar,
Aye.
Anderson,
Aye.
Marcier,
Aye.
Rolfs,
Aye.
Mensch,
Aye.
motion carried.
Okay, I can't see in the audience. Any public comment?
We have no public comment, John, that I can see.
Thank you. Okay, I think all these have been in your box, but we have ordinance resolutions, agreements, and proclamations. We have a bunch of them tonight. Anybody need anything reviewed with Mike, if he can answer on any of these? Any questions?
Nope.
Okay, taking that as no. Anybody want to back anything out? Okay, taking that as no. I need a motion to set the consent agenda in a second, please.
So moved. Second.
Okay, roll call when you're ready.
Rolfs,
Aye.
Anderson,
Aye.
Marcier,
Aye.
Cahill,
Aye.
Delar,
Aye.
Faragher,
Aye.
Mensch,
Aye.
motion carried.
Okay, now we need a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
Second.
And roll call when you're ready.
Marcier,
Aye.
Delar,
Aye.
Faragher,
Aye.
Cahill,
Aye.
Mensch,
Aye.
Rolfs,
Aye.
Anderson,
Aye.
motion carried.
Okay, moving on from consent agenda, we're going to standing committee reports, and we have finance, legal, and audit. Benny, please.
All right. We had a large claims this month because I have some breakdown of what the claims are. The claims are $1,872,123.01. Some of the breakdown of the additional costs this month that's not usually that high. We had 3 accounts payable runs. We had 2021 bonds for $297,800. 2022 A bond at $193,477. The 2019 bond for $100,516. And we had 2 major projects got completed this fall and almost into winter. By the way, congratulations to Public Works for completing these projects. Locust Street, which is going to come out of TIF 3, and Water and Sewer for $352,808. And the North Street 12-inch water main project, K Street project, and 5th Street project. Most of that money was motor fuel tax money, and that amounted to $420,261. That was the, why the claims are so high. There's some of the larger details. I make a motion to accept the claims.
Second.
Roll call when you're ready, please.
Baragry.
Aye.
Delar.
Aye.
Anderson.
Aye.
Cahoe.
Aye.
Marcier.
Aye.
Rolfs.
Aye.
Mensch.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Everyone got a copy of the December Treasurer's Report. Any comments or questions? Hearing none, I accept the Treasurer's Report for this month. I'll make a motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Roll call, please.
Cahoe.
Aye.
Delar.
Aye.
Mensch.
Aye.
Baragry.
Aye.
Marcier.
Aye.
Anderson.
Aye.
Rolfs.
Aye.
Motion carried.
We have a Fox Group engagement letter for the fiscal year 2025-2026 for $51,000. I'll make that motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Roll call, please.
Anderson.
Aye.
Rolfs.
Aye.
Cahoe. Marcier.
Aye.
Delar.
Aye.
Baragry.
Aye.
Mensch.
Aye.
Motion carried.
We had two transfers recommended by the Fox Group. A transfer of $103,000 from the general fund, 1-10-8,000 into the liability fund, 8-10-9,000. I'll make that motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Roll call, please.
Mensch.
Aye.
Baragry.
Aye.
Rolfs.
Aye.
Anderson.
Aye.
Marcier.
Aye.
Cahoe.
Aye.
Delar.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Last thing I have is a transfer of $35,000 from the general fund, 1-10-8,000 into the audit fund, 9-10-9,000. I'll make that motion.
Second.
Roll call.
Roll call, please.
Delar.
Aye.
Mensch.
Aye.
Cahoe. Rolfs.
Aye.
Anderson.
Aye.
Marcier.
Aye.
Baragry.
Aye.
Motion carried.
And that is it for finance, legal, and audit.
Okay, moving on to Public Works, Water and Wastewater, Dennis.
Yep, coming out of Public Works is the Elm Street Water Main Project, low-interest loan forgiveness. Keith, Lauren, one of you?
Good evening, council. Last week we discussed that we were only receiving the low interest loan. We had no debt forgiveness. So some discussion took place as far as what we can do in-house and what we can't do. We cannot do the work in-house and still receive the low interest loan. So we pulled some numbers on just the material and pipe valves. We're looking at about $475,000 in just material to do the job. So some options if we didn't want to seek the low interest loan, which would the project in the whole is estimated $1.8 million. So if we wanted to do this in-house, we could break this apart and we could start with Brianna to 8th Street as a 1-year project in-house, and probably look at about $250,000 in material for that section.
Yeah.
Versus seeking loans and
We don't need any more loans.
outsourcing work. I mean, we can start doing this piece by piece in-house.
So what you're saying is Public Works can do this entire project for the cost of the materials, saving well over $1 million in what, even though it would have been low interest loans.
So this is just pipe material,
Right.
no aggregate, no site restoration, concrete work. There's gonna be driveways that have to be crossed. Even if you inflate this for another $200,000,
You're still saving a lot of
still
money.
talking $1.2 million saved.
Got to divide it up over a few years.
I mean,
that's a no-brainer because I know you guys can do the work.
and by dividing it, we could do it in 1 year, but now you're pulling other work away.
Right.
So if you divide it in a 2 or 3 year project, doing pieces, you're not neglecting the other work that needs to take place in the city. So,
Absolutely. And you are confident. I'm confident in you. You can do it.
oh yeah,
That's
we
the way we should go.
bought a larger machine for a reason, so
Yep.
we need to use it.
Absolutely. We'll be paying for it again.
So we're gonna start looking at maybe sectioning it into 3 pieces, get some better numbers put together, and maybe seek approval to move forward. We're still gonna have to do some engineering because we have to get IEPA permits for water main replacement, but Well, I guess we technically have it, so we would just, can we break that apart, or?
Yeah, the permit's only good for, is it a year?
Yeah, it's 12
So
months.
we would have to renew it a couple of times if you break it into a couple of years, but it's just a formality with the EPA to have those extended.
Is there still a chance that there's grant money that can be attached that we can go after for doing it in-house, or is that a long shot that we'll never get?
I mean, we can continue to seek grants, but you're gonna change the project slightly now, and,
There-
you don't
there's
think it's
there's
worthwhile,
other,
don't
there's
do it,
other
but-
grants available, but a lot of those grants have a competitive bidding component to them, so you wouldn't be able to accept the grant money similar to the EPA money.
Okay, just had to ask the question.
I just want to remind everybody, this is what we did these water increases for over the last so many years, is so we could do projects like this.
Yep.
We weren't just raising rates just so we could be hard on the citizens of Watsika. We did it specifically to do jobs like this.
Anyway, Facebook says.
But by doing it in-house, we more efficiently use the monies that we are receiving
Yeah.
and will allow us to do more jobs like this, as opposed to taking a lot of that and throwing it into a contractor's hands when we have the capabilities to do it in-house. Great.
That'll be all 8-inch starting at Brianna, right?
it's gonna be 12-inch.
12-inch.
Yeah.
Anything else on that?
No, so we'll continue to get a solid number for approval. Obviously, we have the funds. We would just pull out of the water fund to take care of this, but we'll try to get a better number for that section and get approval next month. Nothing further on that. Dennis, you want?
Yeah, the next one is the Osgood grant decision, possible action and expenditure on the project.
So I think you were all provided a kind of a breakdown on each amenity over at Lakeview, the pickleball court, sand volleyball, the splash pad. As you're aware, we received the grant up to, I think, $600,000, which is a 50% match on what we do. We are allowed to do work in-house to help offset that 50%. We need to decide on how much we want to do this year and how much we want to do next year, but we have to do it all as a whole to get the grant. But we have 2 years to get it completed. So do we break it up? Do we do it all in 1 year? Do we do it at all? I mean, it's still, possibly $600,000 out of our pocket if we were to see a full $1.2 million on the project. I believe some of the numbers are a little bit high, and that didn't account for us doing any work. So I truly believe we can offset some of the costs between the water services, the storm sewer, some of the concrete work that's needed, even the sand volleyball court. These things are stuff that we could do in-house. I don't recommend us doing any work on the splash pad.
Right.
I think that's taking on a huge liability if something were to go wrong. The pickleball court is something you would hire out for all the striping, the painting. I mean, it's a specialized epoxy. But there are components there that we could do to offset some costs. It's just a matter of how do we want to move forward? Do we want to accept the grant, start this? We have to obviously do a little more engineering. I believe we just have kind of rough sketches of this. So
When's
we
our
have,
deadline to give an answer?
You have 2 years to complete the project.
No, but
But-
don't we have to give an answer to whether or not we're gonna accept the grant, or
We're
we
still,
just move forward on it and then they'll pay us?
we're still waiting for the contracts to come through, so
Okay.
they haven't provided that yet, but I'm sure that you're right, there's probably 30 days or 45 days, they'll want some kind of an answer back from the city.
Lauren, do you have the ability to go through and pull numbers of what you think our portion doing the labor would offset, to give us an idea of how much would be labor and how much would actually be out of the general fund or whatever funds, to give us a number as opposed to a generalization?
yeah, I think we can sit down. Unfortunately, until you go out and to bid on these projects, you don't know actual costs.
Sure.
We just have rough estimates on, you know, seeking some basic prices on structures, and we can dig down and get some better prices.
So are the
Yeah.
the green ones that you said like the city install, is that the ones that we can do it in house?
Yeah, I believe.
The only couple of things that I would not recommend you do, like Lauren said, the splash pad, just because of all the plumbing and fixtures, and and then for the pickleball courts, they will have to clean and grout and do some repairs to that concrete surface. They could probably do it in house, but some of that stuff might be better outsourced.
But we still need to discuss this, whether we want to do it or not.
That's the first question, because if you sign the contract with IDNR, you have 2
Because
years to do it, but
Yep.
you have the right to tell IDNR that you're passing on the funds
Even though
as
we
well.
got the grant accepted, we are taking on some liability. I mean, some cost.
I think either way, you would accept the grant, sign the contract. Worst case, if we decided later we didn't want to do anything, then you're not out any money, correct, Keith? I mean, you're not going to spend anything. They're not going to pay you anything. It just ends up being a wash. You end up tying up grant money, which may look bad later in life if you do seek another grant. You'd hope they don't remember that, but I'm sure they will. So.
But before we could really make a decision on that, it'd be easier if we knew how much money's actual dollars as opposed to, and I know it's all dollars when it comes to labor, but I mean actually a line item budget from.
So if you look at this,
Whatever.
if you look at this, you can see it's about 30,000 for the pickleball court, and then there's some site prep work. I think the total is 61,000. But you can see the green items are things that we can do in house. 5,000 for the fence installation, and then 7,000 for some miscellaneous site amenities like benches, things like that. So I mean, this breakdown kind of gives you a ballpark idea of what we can and can't do in house, and the things we can do in house, what that offset would be. So I mean, if you scroll down, you see like the water service line for the splash pad is estimated about 50,000. We would install that, so it'd be a $50,000 offset. I mean, it's kind of broke down already. I mean, we can.
So what you're saying is each of those green items that are listed on there, for face value as it's listed, we could take off of our half of the match.
Correct, but
bring
these are
that
all
number down.
estimate. These
Okay.
are all estimates, though,
Understood.
so keep that
But
in
it'll
mind.
give us a better ballpark idea.
Yeah,
All
exactly.
right, that makes sense.
Or the funding could be used out of promotions too.
So should we accept now?
No, just need more discussion yet.
Okay.
So, obviously, once we get those contracts, it'll come to council for approval and a movement at that point. But if you guys want to work through those numbers, you guys have any questions, let us know. Maybe Keith and I will work through them and see if there's anything that we can firm up to get a better idea of what it's gonna cost. If there's anything that's, I mean, this is 6 months ago, so costs have changed, whether it's up or down, but I think we'll just table it for now until we get the contracts, and then we'll have to make a decision at that point.
Yes.
Let's see, the next thing here is moving the old Santa House to Legion Park for concession stand.
Yeah, that's just repurposing it. It's not gonna last 10 years, but it gets it out of our way. We don't have to deal with a sale and trying to get somebody to move it. And it gets our concession stand closer to the pool, which is, I think, been an ongoing issue and a complaint from many parents, so.
That's a good idea.
That's fine. Motion to do so.
Second.
I'll make the motion.
We got a motion and a second.
Yeah.
Roll call when you're ready.
Marcier,
Aye.
Delar,
Aye.
Biragre,
Aye.
Cahill,
Aye.
Mensch,
Aye.
Rolfs,
Aye.
Anderson.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Okay, last thing on the list is the 3-ton truck replacement. 3 bids, one from Peterbilt, Freightliner, Western Star, Mack, and Kenworth.
So, I am leaning toward the Peterbilt. I talked to LeBeau's, which would be the closest dealership to deal with as far as any trucks go. They are willing to actually match that price that we received from the Bloomington Peterbilt with actually some additional upgrades as well. So a little bit better deal. I went down to Rantoul, met with the Public Works director down there, checked that they've got a brand new Peterbilt, identical to what we'll get. They received in September, talked with their guys, no complaints. They have a Kenworth that's identical to it that they received a year ago, so they actually have pretty much two trucks. The Kenworth's identical, long story short. Same manufacturer, really. No complaints, seem to love the truck. It is a very nice truck. It is a heavier duty truck than the other 4 bids. It's a 20-ton front axle. The other ones are 16-ton. It's a little more money, but I think it's keeping dollars close. After talking with LeBeau's, they reminded me they have several employees that live in Watsika, so I think it kind of makes sense to try to keep it as close as possible as well. And they are willing to work with Ron Equipment that provided the price for the box, the plow and everything, so it's not an issue there.
This is sort of what Ron led you in that direction too. Anyway.
Yeah, Ron talked to several people, and he had some choice words to say about the other trucks. I won't repeat them, but they said, that the Peterbilt is the stronger of all. So, and the other 4 trucks have identical motors other than Mack, so the motor and drivetrain's the same, but the chassis quality is, everybody leaned toward Peterbilt.
Well, hopefully this one will last 20 years like the replacement
Yeah, we've got
truck
almost
is.
25 years out of the old International. I mean, we've got our money's worth. It's just to the point where it continues to break down, and we're putting money in it, and
Okay.
it's time to move on, and it's not worth a $40,000 repair on sandblasting and redoing the frame and the box and the cab and everything. It's just, it's at its end of life. It's been at its end of life for quite a few years.
You have a exact hard number for that?
So the hard number is $215,395, and that is complete plow to spreader.
I'll make the motion to purchase Peterbilt for $215,395.
Second.
So roll call when you're ready.
Faragher,
Aye.
Delar. Aye. Anderson,
Aye.
Cahoe. Marcier,
Aye.
Rolfs,
Aye.
Mensch.
Aye.
Motion carried.
That's all out of
Sorry.
That's it, John.
Oh, okay. All right, seeing nothing in public safety or code, we'll move on to, item 9, which we are in need of an executive session. This will be to discuss the, negotiations on the operators local 399, and then we have a possible appointment of a personnel for an interim, leadership of the police department.
For executive session, you'll have to leave the room, please.
Well, we need a motion to go into executive session, and
So move.
Second.
roll call when you're ready, please.
I'll see you, thanks.
Cahoe.
Aye.
Delar.
Aye.
Mensch.
Aye.
Faragher,
Aye.
Marcier,
Aye.
Anderson,
Aye.
Rolfs.
Aye.
Motion carried. Give me just a second,